Hello, it is time for Art in the AM, and I'm going to do a really quick one today. I am working in this journal, which is a watercolor journal, and I am definitely over halfway done. And today I'm going to do another C word. You can let me know if last week you watched, I talked about composition. It was one of the C words for July. And I had a lot of feedback about this one that everybody found it really helpful. They love learning about the different compositions and they really wanted to learn more about that. And I did have this sheet available that I was following, and it was somebody else's sheet, and I gave someone instructions on how to look for it because I didn't feel right about providing it to you. You can go search for it. If you want that sheet about composition, just put something in the comments and I will tell you how to find it rather than me sending it to you. But it was all about composition. Hi, Lori. I'm so glad you're here and you're able to watch. I shared, 8 different types of composition, and all of these kind of represent just a way to organize the elements that you put onto a piece of paper, a canvas, or whatever it is. I have another C word today, and I was going to do a different C word, and then I started thinking about just a lot of different things in the past week or so, and another C word came to mind, and it is community. So that is what I'm going to be doing today on my next page here. And I have a fun little technique that I will probably have to do towards me. Thank you, Lori. This is actually a dress. It's like a little summer dress. It has pockets on here. And I got this when I went on a girls trip. I got to go with my mom, my aunt, my great aunt, my sister, my cousin, and one of my cousin's friends. I think there were 6 of us total. And we got to go to St. Croix, which is one of the U.S. Virgin Islands. And we got to stay in this house that was up on top of the hill, this hill on St. Croix. And it had like a 180 view of the water. It sat on top, and you could almost, really probably more than 180 degrees of the water. We went about, it's been 10 years ago. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize it had been that long ago. So I've had this dress for 10 years. But thank you. I love the colors. It is a batik dress, I believe. I believe that it was created using the technique of batik. That's kind of hard to say together. But I love the colors in it. I actually noticed that my nail polish right now matches this bluish color that's in there. And the pink is just like my favorite pink. So I'm going to do community with a fun little technique. I have 6 colors that I'm going to use. When I think about community, it is actually one of the 3 words that is part of my tagline for my business. And I will post a picture of this, but I'll show it to you. It'll be backwards because I probably don't share it very often. It's on my sign. If you look at the cover photo here on my business page, it is on the sign and it has this tagline on there. Funny thing about my business page, I don't know if you noticed, if you show up every week, Lori's usually here every week, and I have some other people that watch just about every week for Art in the AM. I don't know if you noticed last week, I did not go live on my business page because after 5 years of doing live videos, I made a mistake and I went live on my personal profile. My personal profile that is my personal name that I have had on Facebook since 2008, not Creations of Studio 39. So if you were looking for that video here, I did upload it to YouTube. If you are not subscribing over on YouTube, that's the easiest way to be able to find all of my videos. I actually have a playlist for the Word of the Week videos over there, and I didn't realize until after I finished the video what I had done. It just goes to show you that even the people that you follow and that you watch their videos, they can make mistakes. And even after 5 years, I just didn't make the switch over to go live on my business page. I did take a little bit of extra time today to make sure I was live. So tell me if you noticed. I didn't notice until afterwards, and I had a lot of new people watch over on my profile that don't normally watch. Okay, I will give you the tagline. You can put in the comments if you know what my tagline is. It does include the word community. And my tagline is just a little phrase that I came up with when I first started my business that I wanted to remember my purpose behind why I have the page and the reason why I share what I share and the definition, I guess, if you will, of why this page exists. And this is the tagline. It says, it's where inspiration plus community, kind of like a little formula, inspiration plus community is what sparks creativity. So inspiration plus community is what sparks creativity. So I kind of have 4 words because that word sparks is right in there. But Creations of Studio 39, this business page, is a place where inspiration that I get from different things, plus community, which is all of you, is what sparks creativity. Inspiration plus community is what sparks creativity. And that is the whole reason why I show up, why I'm live, why I share things that have inspired me in hopes that it would spark creativity in you. It would spark this desire for you to want to create and to do something and feel that joy that you get when you are creating. So community is really just a group of people like all of you who watch the replay or even just show up here on my page that have a common interest, right? You have an interest of wanting to be creative, of wanting ideas to create. And I'm going to show you a really quick one today. I have a little scraper here, and I have 6 colors. Hi, Sue. I'm so glad you're able to watch. Oh, Lori says she loves batik fabrics. They're so cool. They just have such a cool look to them. Fun fact, when I was in college, I took a fiber arts class and we did batik, and it was so much fun. The smell of the wax can be a little much sometimes. And actually, when I taught high school, I had them do batiks. It was a lot of fun. Okay, I have this neon orange. Oh wait, I'm gonna start in order because I'm kind of doing 6 colors that are the colors of the rainbow, but I picked particular colors. So I'm using this neon pink. If you have not used the neon colors of the deco art, they're so much fun. I am also using the neon orange, one of my favorite oranges, especially with like fall coming up. I love to use it with pumpkins and, fall things and on sunflowers even, and just all the fall things. And then I am using this yellow. What is this? Oh, this one says it's called pumpkin. That is not a pumpkin color, is it? No. It is a Ceramicoat is the brand name, and it's what I'm using for yellow. It says this is from a Delta Creative is the brand name it looks like, and it is from Hobby Lobby. It was given to me. I didn't purchase it, but it's calling that pumpkin. And then I have a green, so I'm kind of doing all the colors of the rainbow. And this one was also given to me. It's a Martha Stewart paint, and I don't see what the name, oh, it's called Swing Set Green. Look at that. I just think it's like a nice springy kind of green. Hi, Wanda. I'm so glad that you could watch. So kind of a springy green. So I'm going to keep them kind of in order. This is probably one of my favorite colors of blues, and it is Ocean Breeze. So there you go. It kind of goes with my dress that I got from St. Croix and being out in the ocean. So Ocean Breeze, pretty turquoisey, you know, again, it's kind of like that blue in my dress there. And then I have, my stand was being held up by that paint, I guess. And then I have purple, and it is a Craft Smart purple. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this down and I will show you. I'm just going to use those 6 colors, and I'm going to use my scraper, and I'm going to have another piece of paper. I need to have another piece of paper on the other side because I'm going to be scraping paint, and I want to make sure if I have extra that I scrape it onto something. So I will see, let's see if I can, let me think about which way I'm doing this. I think I need to turn this around because I think I need to scrape towards me rather than away from me. I don't think it'll work too well if I scrape away. I think that will not turn out well. So let me get this set up, and then I will have it so that you can see it. This is almost too big to fit on my table. I don't think I can fit that on there. So I think I'm gonna pull out another pad of paper where I can just have the single sheet of paper. You'll see why when I'm doing this, because the potential for the extra paint could be a lot. I have this mixed media paper that somebody gave to me. It is 98 pounds, so it's not a super thick paper. It works pretty well for having a little bit of body, and I've used it for collage, so it works pretty well. Okay, now let me see if I can get this so that you can be able to see what I'm doing. Okay. And not have that fall over. So I'm going to put my paint on here and making sure that you can kind of see what it is that I'm doing. And my guess is that some of it's going to come on down to here. So I'm going to take my paints, and you may have seen this technique before. Oh, I don't even think this one is open. I have several of these pink neon ones. I think I snatched up a bunch of them when I saw them because I knew that I would use them quite a bit. My camera felt kind of like wonky there. So I would love to know, and I'm gonna share a couple of ideas about how to build community, how to build a creative community of people who have a similar interest, like all of you here. So tell me if you spent some time over the weekend in a community. Like, did you do something with friends because they probably have a common interest? Okay, I'm doing this kind of upside down, but what I'm going to be doing is putting these little blobs of color, and I'm going to kind of do in this rainbow order, and then I'm going to scrape them down, and what you'll see is they're going to make a little community. We're going to make like a little community of people. So hopefully you can see that okay. Let me know if that is on the screen okay for you to be able to see, because your comments kind of cover up for me what you're seeing. So let me know if you can see this pink little blob, okay? And then my next little blob, the orange, I'm going to put it at a different height. So I probably need a little bit more paint there. I don't do this technique very often, so the amount of paint is, I don't really know. Oh, wow, that's stuck on there. Let's see if I can pull that up. It makes it a lot easier if I have, there we go. And then I'm going to do this one maybe a little shorter. Ooh, that's, okay, well that is too much paint right there. It kind of like blobbed out. So that is just not going to work very well right there. I'm going to try to scrape some of it up. It just like blobbed. So I'm going to scrape some of that on there. Do you ever have that happen with your paints? It creates that blob because there was a little part right there that was stuck in the paint at the tip. And let's see, take a paintbrush here and slide some of that. There's the little blob, the little culprit right there. It's right in there. And I can see a couple of places. So yeah, it was this little chunk right here that was, because I hadn't opened that one. It was one that somebody gave to me and I hadn't opened it. And just all that paint had gotten stuck up in there. Okay, I still think that's going to be too much, but I think you're going to get the idea of the technique without it being, and I'm going to have, this is a really nice orange actually, with fall coming up. Do you see what I'm using for my my scraper? It's a little smaller one. It's an old driver's license, my husband's old driver's license. I'm going to go ahead and keep that on there. I think it's still going to be too much, but that's why I have this here. Then I'm going to go to the green. So let me know if that isn't a good spot for you. The green kind of blobbed out a little bit too. That's a thicker paint right there, that Martha Stewart paint. That's not a very runny paint at all. I'm going to do this blue, this Ocean Breeze, way up at the top. So I'm going to add a little bit more paint there. And then a little bit of the purple. Okay. We're going to see how this works. This scraper is not wide enough for me to do all 6 of these colors. So what I'm going to try to do is these first 3 and then these 3 probably. So I'm going to pull these down, and depending on, like this pink one, it kind of spread out. So it's going to be kind of like wider at the top. And we'll see with the, this is very orange instead of the yellow, isn't it? So I didn't really have, it looks way different in this container than on here. I didn't even notice. So that definitely is more of a pumpkin than the other orange. So I don't have a yellow on there. It would have been better probably to have these two switched and have the orange, the neon yellow kind of in here. So anyway, I should have picked a different yellow altogether. So this scraper is a little bit wider, but I'm going to try it this way. And I'm going to scrape down. And now I have this extra paint. I'm just going to pull right down onto here. And had just like a little bit on the scraper there. I'm going to need another piece of paper probably. It uses a lot of paint. I still have some on there. I'm going to go ahead and wipe that off. I'll show you my other piece of paper that I'm using over here to when I get finished. And then I just have a little bit left on there, so I'll just wipe that. I'm going to have to be careful not getting it on my dress, right? Okay, let's go ahead and try these over here. This is way more paint than I need. I'm going to actually get another sheet of paper. because now these are cool colors instead of the warm colors that I was using. And when those warm colors are not dry, it will start to make, kind of muddy colors. Okay, this will work a little bit easier because now I'm not fighting the little fold over in here. So I'm just going to pull straight down, and this side worked much better. And then I'll pull the extras over onto the sheet. That makes kind of a fun little, some going across there. I like when it starts to kind of overlap. A little bit of purple in there. And this is going to be kind of a fun sheet, I think. I was almost able to get all of that off there. So I have that green and purple and blue on there. And then I will wipe this off a little bit too. You know, one of the things about having this little wow book, this little book where I'm kind of trying things out, it lets me try things like this that do work, right? I'll turn around this way so you can see. This little community of these three over here, this worked much better over here where I was scraping and pulling down. These three over here, the neon pink, I think just wasn't shaken very well. So I might try this one over again. I really like this orange, and this that's supposed to be yellow really kind of made this weird because it was all spread out up at the top. But you can see if you just have like a little drop and you pull those down, it kind of looks like these little blob-like shapes, right? That could be like this community. And then I could add little faces on there. You could make these. I have seen someone do these on black paper with white paint to make little ghosts, and they're so cute. So I could do like these little faces. I could add, you know, hair on top of there. They could be like these little monsters, you know, things like that. So this is going to be my community right there. So I just wanted to do like a fun little technique for showing about community. And I wanted to talk about, I feel like I have more paint on my hands. I just wanted to talk about an email that I sent out the other day that you, if you're on my email list, you may or may not have seen. And it is about an idea that I got for community. And I have a lot of people that show up watching my live videos, and I have a lot of people who want more than, you know, just some little techniques that I'm showing you. And they want to be in community, like face to face as much as possible from all over, you know, online, and be face to face. So the idea that I came up with fall coming up and with a lot of different fun paintings and just fall and holiday and all these related paintings, I wanted to do a community where we got together on Zoom and painted together in a Zoom room where we could face to face see each other, get to know each other from people all over, and to have you be able to real time ask questions while you're painting. So I have 3 paintings that I sent out the email for, this sunflower in this little coffee cup, which is so much fun to do, a pumpkin, and this beautiful Honey the Highlander, and all these just really rich like fall colors. If you're on my email list, you got this on Friday. I am going to be setting up an event, so you can see it here on my business page. And this is basically an online party that you get to go to 3 times, but it's less than probably what you would pay if you went to one in-person paint party. And there are 3 dates where we are going to be live together on Zoom, And for all 3 of the paintings where you will be in a group and have all the tracers, all the instructions, the videos will be there, it is just $27. And I will teach you all 3 of these paintings. We're going to be doing them on an 8x10 canvas board or canvas, stretched canvas. And I'm going to teach you all 3 of these live on Zoom. It's not anything that I've ever done before, packaged all 3 of them together and had kind of an extended group where we're doing the 3 paintings. So I'm going to set up an event. So I think it is going to be a lot of fun. And it'll be a group that kind of lasts for a couple of months that you can ask questions, and really a community of people that way too. So it's kind of like a 3-month membership kind of, and you'll have all the resources and everything inside there. I'm going to set up an event, but if you are on my email list, you got an email on Friday. I have people signing up for that, and you can join us on the Zoom. And if you can't join in on the Zoom, you can watch the replay. It will be available for 30 days from the time, and the event will have all 3 of the dates on there. They are August 19th, September 16th, and October 14th are the 3 dates. So the first one on August 19th will be available for 30 days in the group. The second one, 30 days after that, and the last one for 30 days in the group. So I will be sending out an email on August 8th with an invitation into the group, and all the information will be in the group, and it'll have the date of how long the group will stay open to watch the videos and all that kind of thing. You'll really be in the group from August, September, October, like really for 3 months, until like mid-November. It'll be a little bit over 3 months. That will be set up as an event. You can go over and look in your email. And if you definitely want to participate in that and you want a link that you can just click here, just put paint party like in the comments, and I'll know that that's what you're talking about, is that those 3 online paintings that we're going to do. So I think that it's going to be a lot of fun. You have until August 1st to sign up, because I'm going to be sending out the email to get into the group and setting up the group and everything. And I'm traveling this weekend, so I want to have that kind of all in place before I leave on Thursday. I'm leaving on Thursday, but August 1st is Friday, right? So that way I'll have it kind of all in place, and I will be back and get it all set up and send out the email and everything. Speaking of traveling, I am not positive when exactly I will be back, so there may not be a word of the week for next Monday for Art in the AM. If I get back late Sunday and I am up and able to be live, I will be live. If we decide to stay somewhere Sunday night and not drive back, depending on how late it is, I probably won't be back in time. Look for a text message, look for a post. I will keep you updated and let you know. But I am going to spend a couple of days with my Mastermind Ladies group, and you will see some pictures. You may have already seen some pictures of one of the ladies has already left. And if you are in our Create-a-thon community, you may see some more pictures. It is Laura McNeely who has already left. She is driving, and we are all meeting up in Missouri, and you'll start to see more of that here on my business page and just what it looks like when we all get together. Anyway, I'm glad that you showed up today for my little experiment of my little community there. I'll be working on that, and I'll post a photo of it kind of like when it's all finished. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being part of the community here on Creations of Studio 39. I appreciate you, and it is the reason why I show up to share what inspires me so that it sparks your creativity. So I'll see you next time.